I have to pull the water pump off, and what I find when I pull it apart will dictate how I build this pulley system. That is just, oops, that flat thing goes in there and sits on these three flats. I guess they're dead flat, so that's okay, so I can use that. And the bearing for it is encased in that, but I guess I could always put a bearing in that. Now, to compare that to the Lifer one, which is similar to the Honda one, they have a screw in there. So there's the thread there, and this one is smooth. So what they've done is they've just machined that out a bit more and just made that smooth, so that the water pump can just fit in there. So I presume that means that theoretically, a bit of machining, get rid of the thread, I could fit the water pump to that. Although it wouldn't have the three raised sections, but it's basically the same. So I'll keep pulling it apart a bit more. Right, at least I now know what sort if I want to get parts. I've seen that one before on AliExpress, and that's just a sensor pickup in there. So you've got your CDI sensor there, a few electronics. The wires here, there's only two yellow ones. I've done a bit of reading and that says it's two-phased. Both yellow, so they're both the same voltage coming out. That's an earth. That one is a the blue one there is the trigger, and the black and red one, I've forgotten what it is, but anyway, it's 5. It's quite normal. I can just put a bit of grease on that and reuse that gasket, so that's good. This one here, this wires here is just for your, apparently all those there are just for different gear selectors. If you've got like a Speedo that's got all the different gear numbers in it, that just goes there and it's the end of the gear drum, and it just tells you each one of those must go to earth and tell you whatever gear you're in, neutral, first, second, third, fourth. So that's nothing to worry about. Up here, that's a flywheel, that's just a reverse one, that's pretty common. There's your trigger point right there. And there is your, that's just like another nut on the end of the flywheel there, which normally will just have a nut, but this has got this kind of a nut which has the drive then for the water pump. So nothing special there that I need to worry about, just as long as it's a long nut with a slit in it. I could even duplicate that if I had to. This here is your, not many teeth on there, I just would like that. My plan was I was going to take a pulley off either side, I don't know which one yet, and I was just going to extend that out and build something here, and I could have done that. By the looks of that could be done, but a bit of tension on that. A bit of tension down there, so... And there is that thing there on the back of the flywheel. That's a clutch. Like when the motor engages, you must fling out some kind of a clutch, like a ratchet system, and then turn the motor over. Oh yes, so I can see my timing marks. Alright, so that's... oh yeah, look at that. I go this way, nothing. I go this way and it bites. Which, mind you, that's the direction a motor spins, anti-clockwise. This is the direction a motor doesn't spin, so the clutch doesn't need to go that way. Oh, so that's that. It'll stay. I don't mind electric start. Okay, so all I need to do with that for now is just transfer those two overs, and with the magic of movies, I'll do that in a second. I've made a bit of a sad discovery. My idea is not going to work. I transferred over the electrics here from this one, and in that process I noticed that the heights here and the heights there are different. The height from where the pickup for the spark sits, the height from the pickup for the spark to the edge of the case is, whoops, wrong one, is 35 mil. About there, and look, it's a centimetre up, and a centimetre, I measured it on here, this is the pickup, this is the pickup, I don't know if you can see that or not, yeah, that's the pickup for a spark, and you put that a centimetre down further, it's not going to pick up, so I won't get any spark, and I may be rubbing the electrics against here. Probably would still work, I could soon check it, but either way, no spark, nothing's happening, so I have to transfer it all back to that again. It was a good idea, but I don't really know why they felt the need to make them different, because they're both the same height, so I'll think about it and I'll come to the answer eventually, but just what I wanted to point out, you know, the lady said, don't worry, high quality motor. There is a difference between life and motors. Look at the thickness of that material there. See the thickness all the way through here? That thick, looks very much like Honda. A wiggly line for a breather, not a straight through one. Now look at the regular life one. Look at the thickness there, nearly through. Straight line, no need for a wiggly, no bracing in there. Like that bit of ribbing there is very thin, the ribbing on here is very thick and ribbing. That is definitely more, looks like a Honda part than a Chinese part. Look at the difference between both Lifens, but apparently good quality Lifen, cheap Lifen. Interesting. I said I was going to remove this, and that's just a matter of this bolt goes all the way through the head. It's all the way through the head, pokes out here, and this bolts into place. So I've swapped this 150 one over for this CDI one. I've already collected in parts. It's just a locator, and that'll just go on there like that. So bolt goes through. I get rid of that. I don't know what that says. It's not a 150 motor, it's a 140. And just that's what I'll do. Now, as far as this goes, this is the water pump. Just comes off. O-ring to hold the two together. One locating pin, or two locating pins. O-ring to hold the thing in place. This is the impeller. That just did up a bit tight. I've just loosened it. Oops. Seal there. One. And that comes out. And that's basically it. And this has two bearings there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's two bearings, and that which would give it support from rocking. You know, either way, the two bearings would be right here, bang bang, and that'd give it support. That's good, but I plan to build something and have a bearing on the outside to give it the strength support. Because I'm going to be pulling a pulley off here, and I'm going to be pulling on it pretty hard. So I want a bearing out here somewhere, so that it won't bend like that. So that's one of the things I have to build, and it's just a matter of getting a shaft and, you know, some kind of a 10mm shaft and making it longer and doing something with it. So I've got to do that, right? So I've got to build a cage out here and to do that. But until then, this motor is going to clean out, so I'll just get a bit of gaffer tape, and that'll do for now.